Alrighty, welcome back to Variety Films. I'm Henry, and this is the next segment in my tournament style head-to-heads with drama. If you saw my animation bracket style tournament, you should know exactly how this is going to play out, but if you haven't yet, links up there or there, not really sure. But check out one of them, and then we'll exactly know how this goes, and then come back. At the number 1 seed, we have a classic that might be a surprise to you guys if you haven't seen it yet, because it's a very old film. Like I said, it's a classic, but it's got a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and we got 12 Angry Men. And at number 16, we have at 75% rating, and that's The Hateful Eight. And if you haven't seen this movie yet either, because it's newer, I have my review up there, or up there. Actually an interesting matchup, because these movies, ironically, are really similar. Not necessarily the plots themselves, but the fact that they both take place in practically a single room the entire movie. 12 Angry Men does, and The Hateful Eight, for the most part, does. But, you know, got to go with the classic 12 Angry Men, moving on. This whole tournament's going to be like pulling teeth trying to determine winners, because I just love all these films. These head-to-heads are going to be really tough to choose because they're either well done, they either hit me hard, they're beautiful to watch, you know, just all different factors. But with that being said, this is going to be the very first matchup that's really tough, because at number 8 we have Whiplash, a movie that I love very much, 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, going up against a film that possibly a lot of people haven't seen from a director that's very well known. The director of The Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar. We have at number 9, 92% rating on Rotten Tomato, Memento. The reason this one's so tough for me is because Whiplash hits me in the feels, because just the whole storyline and the arc of the character development and overcoming all your fears and trying to reach your goals at all costs, it just is really important to me. Whereas Memento is just a damn near masterpiece. It's well done, it's beautifully written, well acted. Guy Pearce is phenomenal in this movie, and this just shows early that Christopher Nolan knows what he's doing. He knows how to write films, and he just knows how to be, you know, just make art. If I had to choose, I'm definitely going to go with Whiplash. Once again, this matchup's going to be very tough because these movies are similar in the fact of the main character, their arc is just so well done, and it's just the development that you see the main characters in both these movies is just phenomenal. At the number 5 seed and 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, we have One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a classic starring Jack Nicholson. Going up against the number 12 seed, 88% rating, American Beauty, which stars Kevin Spacey. This matchup's especially tough because these films are both beautifully done, well written, because they both won the Oscar for screenplays, they both won the Oscars for Best Picture, they both won the Oscars for Best Performance in a Leading Actor, they both won Oscar for Best Direction. It's tough. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with American Beauty, number 4 seed and 96 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This shouldn't be a surprise because we got Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg. No wonder that this is a great film, and personally one of my favorites. We got Catch Me If You Can. Going up a surprise, in my opinion, number 13, 88%, directed by David Fincher and starring Batman, Ben Affleck, we have Gone Girl. This matchup is tough because we got my all-time favorite actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, going up against one of my favorite directors of all time, and David Fincher. Hey, I'm going with the upset. First upset so far, Gone Girl. Going on because I just feel like it's just well written, well acted. It's so believable. Once again, we have another tough matchup. This time we have 2 actors that I've already brought up before. Number 2, we have Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson as J.J. Gittes, who's a private detective. And this going up a surprise to everybody, not because of who's in it or who directed it, because Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese, they've already proven success together. Content is just so despicable, and if you don't like it, and you might be swayed, there's a review up here of the movie, and I kind of talk more in depth of why it's a better movie than people say. But we have Wolf of Wall Street. Let me start off by saying that all biases aside, and all these tournaments I'm going to be doing, and this is a prime example here because I just proved it in the previous round with going against Leonardo DiCaprio, but this time I'm going with Leonardo DiCaprio because I feel The Wolf of Wall Street is just more entertaining, and I just like it more personally. So Wolf of Wall Street, moving on. So at the number 7 seed and 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, we might have a surprise because either you haven't seen it or maybe you just haven't thought so highly of it because of whatever reason. But we have Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's going up against a movie that personally just gets deep into my feels because I can just be so related to this movie. At 91% rating on Rotten Tomato, and the number 10 seed, we have Stand By Me. Going on to the second round, definitely we got Stand By Me. Alright, so at number 6 and 95% rating, we have a movie that hits me pretty hard because I'm pretty relatable to this movie. And with that, we have Good Will Hunting. Going up against one of my favorite directors of all time, 88% rating on Rotten Tomato, the number 11 seed, we got Django. Yeah! And it kills me to do this, going up against a movie that I love very much and hits me hard, and I feel semi-relatable to it. But in my mind, Django Unchained is just damn near masterpiece. It is just beautifully done, very gritty material, and it's just able to hit it very well. And it's, I don't know, it's just well done. So Django, moving on. We have two movies that are very well separated in time because we have the second oldest film on this list at number 3 and 97 rating on Rotten Tomato. We have Psycho, an Alfred Hitchcock classic. Wow, that was tough to say. Got another tough matchup here because these two movies are actually a lot more similar than you guys would think if you don't truly go down and think about it. Plus, one movie is the second oldest film on this list versus a movie from 1999. At number 3 at 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, we have Psycho, an Alfred Hitchcock classic. Oh, hey look, another movie that I reviewed at 79% rating on Rotten Tomato, which is surprisingly really low from the critics because honestly they don't like it. The audience rating is a lot higher up, and on IMDb it's number 10 on the top 250, but I guess the critics don't like it as much. Here we go, Fight Club. Alright, so like I said, all biases aside, so I'm not trying to give anything away here, but yeah, Fight Club, moving on. Don't take that away from anything from Psycho. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on all black and white, so if that turns you off, get over it. Check out this movie. It's a thriller, it's a classic, and yeah, the shower scene, it's impactful in movie history, so check it out. In an attempt to not make this video overly long, I'm going to save you guys the pain of having to watch me talk about the loser bracket. So, let me get down to it. We have the first 4 entries into my top 16. At number 16, we have The Hateful Eight. At number 15, we have Nightcrawler. At number 14, we have Catch Me If You Can. And at number 13, we have Good Will Hunting. Alright, so back to the winner's bracket, and now it's going to be a little more fast-paced because you guys already have a little idea of what these movies are. So, first matchup we have, another tough one, 12 Angry Men against Whiplash. And I love both of these movies, but, you know, sometimes you just got to go with the classics. 12 Angry Men moving on to the semifinals. With this matchup, we have a determination that something that a long time ago I never would have said, but hey, girl, defeating American Beauty. Yay, get to prove that I'm not biased again, because with this matchup, I got Stand By Me going past The Wolf of Wall Street. Sorry, Leo. So with the final matchup to determine who goes into the final 4, this is going to come to a surprise because I got this guy right here, but Django Unchained is moving on over Fight Club. Alright, back to Loser Town. Here's the next 4 entries on my top 16 list. At number 12, we have a Jack Nicholson film, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. At number 11, we have another Jack Nicholson film, which is a surprise because most people would probably pick Cuckoo's Nest over Chinatown, but I'm going Chinatown. At number 10, that classic again, Psycho. At number 9, then mindfuck again, Memento. Congratulations, guys. You guys have stuck out with it this far with me, and now we're here to the final 4. And this is a pretty interesting matchup because we have the number 1 seed against the number 13 seed. 2 upsets so far. Gone Girl. Can it do it again? Sorry to say. Can't do it this time. Gotta end the trend. 12 Angry Men moving on to the finals. Alright, with this matchup, we have 4 young boys on a journey along a railroad track versus a slave turned not slave and a bounty hunter. Guess what? The kids are getting killed because the bounty hunters are moving on. Django Unchained going to the finals. Next 4 entries on my top 16 list. At number 8, we have The Wolf of Wall Street. At number 7, we have American Beauty. At number 6, we have Gone Girl. And hey, I just talked about it. Stand By Me, number 5. Before I talk about the finals and 12 Angry Men and Django, I'm going to talk about the other 2 movies that are on my top 4, and that's Whiplash and Fight Club. Going head to head, Whiplash takes the advantage, so that goes number 3, whereas Fight Club drops to number 4. Alrighty, the moment we've all been waiting for. Number one of my all-time favorite drama, and we have what'd you guys think of all the matchups? Is there any matchups that you guys would have preferred over what I've chosen? Because like I said, these were my personal picks. So for whatever reason I wanted to, I picked them. Not saying the movies that I picked were better than the movies that it went up against, but hey, I liked it more personally. So were there any ones that you would have rather had go on? Were there any movies that weren't on the list that you'd rather have on the list? Or were there any movies that you were surprised that were on the list? Maybe like Nightcrawler or Good Will Hunting. So let me know, comment below any movies that you would want on the list, or maybe there's movies that you'd want me to go in more depth and review, like Chinatown, One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest, 12 Angry Men, Psycho, the older films. So let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel, like the video, because there's going to be more tournament styles coming up. Next one probably come out next week, so be ready for that. Let me know what you thought, and as always,